Hello, you're welcome to Gist Arena. All we do is and gist. We discuss topical, trending, and exciting topics, and we have fun while at it. We invite you to sit back, relax, and enjoy each thrilling moment of and gist.
Welcome to Gist Arena, where all we do is gist, and gist. I'm here with, she said I should call her Ayotunde and Cynthia. My name is Adenike, or you can call me AMA, and I would like to talk about something I think that is worth talking about, and it's about social media trends. Social media trends. Let's talk. For example, the silhouette challenge is one of such. So if a spouse, let's say Kemi, a mother of two, married to Shola, decides that, it's her body, she wants to do the silhouette challenge, for example, but Shola has a problem with it because it feels like Kemi is just putting out too much and all of that online. And she does a video, for example, and Shola asked her to pull down the video, otherwise there will be serious consequences maritally. And Kemi is hesitant. What do you think about such a scenario where one spouse wants to jump on the trend and the other spouse feels like, oh no, it's wrong? Dr. Ayotunde and Cynthia, what do you think about this point?
Thanks, hey. Well, first of all, I'd like to say that when you're married, you need to give consideration to your partner's feelings. All right, so before you do anything, you need to think of how it's going to rub off on them, how it's going to affect them, especially things that, will somehow come back to them one way or the other, or things that, will find their way, to public domain. So you can't be like, well, I can do whatever I like. I don't think that that's the right approach. Now, having said that, let's talk about the silhouette challenge. Is it this challenge? This challenge, Father. It's pretty much like you putting your almost naked self on social media. All right, yeah, it's actually your naked self, but then it's covered. So let's go with almost naked self. Now, if a spouse feels concerned about that, I think that they are well within their rights, to express such concerns. Because I mean, come on, I don't think, for instance, that I would love to see my husband's almost naked, self dancing or doing whatever on social media, all in the name of a challenge. No, I mean, come on now, no, we're wrong now. I mean, no, seriously, because well, I believe that your body is something that you share with your partner, in your privacy. So yes, if a partner does not feel good about you putting such out there, I think they can express, their displeasure. Of course, some partners don't, have no qualms about that, but then we are not all the same. So, and in this particular case, I think a partner can ask or can request, their spouse to take down such posts on social media. Now, I don't really know what the drastic measure you're talking about. I don't know what that would constitute. I don't think it should even get to a point where the person will now say, well, if you don't do it, I'll take a drastic measure. I think that if your spouse says, please take this down, you should, have consideration for your spouse's or your partner's feelings and just simply pull it down, because it affects them, in certain ways. And you shouldn't be selfish. I mean, what's the point anyway? What do you stand to gain with such post? So if your partner is not down with it, I support, a partner who is not down with such and asks, of course, the spouse to take down such post, or at least expresses, displeasure in such post. Of course, that's not to say that your partner can now dictate to you, what you do on social media, what you post on social media, what you don't post on social media. But like I said earlier, if it's something that, affects them one way or the other, if it's has to do with them one way or the other, and if they don't, like it, then I think they are well within their rights to, say that you should kindly, pull down such posts. But well, for me, some challenges on social media are pretty harmless because of such challenge. Well, if someone wants to get on that or jump on that or hop on that, I don't think a spouse should now take the position of monitoring their partners to say, okay, this is what you have to post, this is something you cannot post. If it doesn't, necessarily affects them or hurt them, or if it does nobody any harm, then you can't control, your partner in such a way that you would be the one to tell them what to do and what not to do on social media. But then, in this kind of challenge, this silhouette challenge, if a spouse says, I'm not comfortable, even myself, on behalf of the spouse, I am not comfortable. Okay, but that's pretty much what I think. Just put your spouse's or your partner's feelings into consideration, because hey, if they do something that you don't like and you tell them about it, you express it to them, and then they do a giddy and they say, no, I can do whatever I like, you won't find it funny. So just simply do to others what you want others to do to you. And that's what I think.
So with social media trends, the personality of the partners for me should come into play here, and I couldn't think of or a more worthy example than myself. I mean, you both know how a bit averse I am to social media and its trend and whatever. I necessarily don't like to be online. So if I was with somebody who likes to be online, likes to be online a lot, I wouldn't mind if they're not gonna drag me into it. I wouldn't mind. It doesn't mean I don't do it at all, but I would only do it at my own convenience. Also, I would expect my partner to put me into consideration. Even if you love social media that well, when you're with somebody, you need to understand that you are you are not totally yourself anymore. Let me just put it that way. So for the example that you mentioned, which is the silhouette challenge, if I had someone, or I mean, I don't know, a lot of guys didn't do this one. Let's assume that there was a lady that did the silhouette challenge and put it online, and her spouse has said that she should put it down and all of that. If you can give his reasons why, I mean, I understand why, a lot of people some people don't like the silhouette challenge. If that's the reason is, I don't want you to be online. And I think if the other partner thinks the reasons why, the other spouse would like him or her to pull down the whatever content from social media, if it sounds right or okay to the person, then the person can pull it down. There's compromise when you're in a relationship. Now, if the person does not think that the reasons are valid, maybe both of them have to reevaluate what they're doing. Exactly, reevaluate. I understand that sometimes I might not see anything wrong with something I've put online, but if my partner says, okay, I don't like seeing you put online, and it gives me reasons, if I understand his reasons, I may not agree with the reasons, but if I understand the reasons he is giving me, I don't mind making compromises on putting it down. And so I'm going to extend that as well to what we're discussing. If the partner can give, reasons that the other person can understand why they don't want them to, put a certain content online. Even if you love the person, if you care about the person, you can choose to accommodate their reasons for wanting you to take it off. However, that should not also be abused. the person that is asking should also understand that everybody is their person. They can choose what or what not they want to put online. It is up to them, So if you want someone to take something down, make a passionate plea. Don't come all gragra. This one, that one is me that own you. Don't do all of that stuff. If you want someone to do something when it comes to the social media challenge or whatever, come with passionately, understand that the person is also an individual. You might not necessarily agree with what the person has put up or what the person is putting up on all of that, but come, plead your case. And I believe that if your partner is also reasonable and loves you, he or she's going to accommodate your reasons. Yeah, that's what I think.
Thanks, Doc. Thanks, Cynthia, for your very nice answers. Um, I know that Valentine's Day is not exactly a social media trend. It's been with us before we were born, the long story and all, but this is the season. So if we have a case where there's, let's say the man is the romantic and is the one that wants to celebrate Valentine, but the woman is like, I beg, I beg, I beg, I don't have energy for all those kinds of things, and oh, please, we have a lot more on our plate. Let's say for a couple, for example, people married. Let's say the woman is like, I beg, we want to buy house, leave, be flower with the shop. She's kind of the more practical one, and the man is the one that is like, oh, you only live once, enjoy life, have fun with the wife of your youth and all. Or if it's a case where they're even dating, and let's say the woman is the one hoping that the guy will come and take her out and all of that, and da da da, and all of that. But the man is like, please, I'm planning for my life. I'm busy. And, maybe the lady even wants to be able to post something on social media, be able to say that, yes, on Val's Day, me and my boo, she wants a video, she wants something because she wants to trend. Or, we have some cases where some people feel like, oh, they're influencers and all. They need to show that they are living the life. They've told people, or, the story we even heard of one vlogger, vlogger, whatever they call them, that was allegedly giving ladies advice and was not taking it. So maybe the lady, this particular lady in our case, wants to show that she practices what she preaches. And so she wants to do something special for Valentine's Day. But the guy she's dating is like, I beg, madam, I'm not interested. Please, free me. I'm not interested, please. So how do you manage those types of scenarios? Let's even pick up, for example, what Dr. Ayotunde said about a partner not being interested in the trend, and the other partner wants them to do it by fire, by force. Let's say it's Valentine's Day, and you want to show your followers that you had fun, the lady, but the man is like, Auntie, off your mic. I'm not interested. So what do you think, Doc? What do you think, Cynthia? How should a couple manage such a scenario? Thank you.
Well, now this sounds like it's going to be a bit dicey, but let's see. I'll still say that it boils down to you giving consideration to your partner's feelings. I still want to maintain that. But then as it concerns Valentine's celebration, I want to say that it's a two-way street. Okay, I think that both parties can learn to meet each other halfway, because there's really a lot of dynamics, around this particular issue. Now, there are some people who don't even believe in Valentine's celebration at all. There's a background story to it. And according to that story, Valentine's Day is not, necessarily a day, to celebrate Lovers Day. It's not a Lovers Day, as it were. It's yes, probably they're dedicated to love, but then this love is not, romantic love. It's some other type of selfless love. So for somebody like that who does not, believe or in celebrating Lovers Day, as Valentine's Day is now tagged, it will be a bit difficult to expect that person to even, go all out or go all big, or do something spectacular on Valentine's Day, because the person does not even believe, in celebrating it in the first place. Now, if you're dating someone like that, or you're married to somebody like that, I want to believe that by now you should know, that person's school of thought as regards that particular subject. So, well, what will you do? You will back on it, because I mean, you already know the person you're in a relationship with, and you know how he or she feels about celebrating that particular event. So if you know and you decided in your heart, you made that choice to be with the person, well, it's difficult to force someone to do something against their will, or to do what they don't want to do, okay, if they have a very good reason for it. And especially since you know already, it's not like it's coming to you, like a surprise, then you laid your bed, so lie on it like that. But then there's also this other aspect of there are some people who are not so big on celebration. So it's not as if the person doesn't believe in celebrating Valentine's Day, but then um, um, they are not, the type of people that, love to do fertility and all of that, to go big, to go all out, to celebrate in such big manners. They don't like parties. They don't, really enjoy all of those things. Now, if you're also in a relationship with somebody like that, or you're married to someone like that, then you may not um, find them, going that extra mile for you, or not for you, but for, such celebration. It's not as if they won't do something, to appreciate you on Valentine's Day, or it's not like they may not, celebrate it with you, but they may not celebrate it the way you want it celebrated, in such big, loud way, especially if you are the one that wants to trend, you want to make a statement, you want to show off, and all of that. And my question will even be that, why, what's the point? What exactly are you on about? Because if it's Lovers Day, I mean, you can celebrate your love with your spouse, or with your fiance, your fiance, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever. You can celebrate your love with them without necessarily making noise about it. So you also have to check your motive. What are you really on about? If this person is not so big, you know, on celebrations, then again, trying to force them to do something against their will is it's a little bit, well, maybe selfish. But I also think that on the other hand, I mean, there's really nothing wrong, with celebrating your love with someone. So the other party that is not so big on celebration, or that does not even believe in celebrating, you can also do something to make, your partner happy. So I mean, that's what I meant when I said that the two of them can learn to meet, themselves halfway. But that's just that about Valentine's celebration. But as regards, jumping, because you made reference to what I said, as regards jumping on a trend, and you want your partner to also jump on it with you by fire, by force. There was this stuff that I read about a man who wanted the wife to do pregnancy shoot, with all the naked bump and everything like that. And she was like, no, she wasn't comfortable with doing that. And the man, really wanted her to do it. And was even almost manipulating her, with some kind of submission talks and everything like that. For me, I think, that's where that's where I draw the line. Nah. Mm-mm. Look, if you want your wife to, if you want to do pregnancy photo shoots, if you have pot belly, you can go and do it on her behalf. I actually saw the picture of a man. I don't know the country now. I'm not sure if it's Caucasian or anything, but at least it's um it's the guy is not Nigerian, he's not African. He decided to, because he had a little bit of belly, so he decided to do the photo shoot when the wife, was not going to do it, and he had already paid for it. So again, it still boils down to giving considerations to your partner's feelings. You don't force people to do what they're not comfortable with. Thank you.
This one is not even hard at all. When you're in a relationship, I think that this is my own opinion, of course. Compromise, and aside from compromise, you should do things that your partner enjoys to do. Though I think that your priority should not be doing, not like do things that it's not for you to do things that you like at the expense of your partner when it comes to, gift giving and gestures. For example, if let's assume that the guy is a gift person. If the guy if he likes to receive gifts, I think it's not fair to assume because you like to receive gifts, you start giving gifts to your spouse because that's what you like. What if your spouse likes quality time? Maybe, give her quality time sometimes, just do what she likes to sometimes. And for the lady too as well, that also likes quality time. She likes quality time. She doesn't like gifts. Her partner likes gifts. It only makes sense that you should always get him gifts. So that way, everyone is balancing out what they like or what they want. Your example about, so for this, for your reference to the Valentine this thing, if for example the guy or the if the let's say, no, I don't want to say if the girl likes to go out, let's flip it. If the guy is someone that likes to go out and the girl is someone that doesn't really like to go out, leading up to the Valentine Day, you would already know that, okay, your partner is getting giddy about it, is really looking forward to it. You can deny him or not, or that, like you can say you're not going out on every other day, but that day is special. It's just Lovers' Day. I think compromise. You can go out that day because your partner wants to go out. It's just that one day. Let the person know that, okay, you don't really enjoy it, but you're doing this sacrifice for the person, and be present as well. Don't let it be like it is a chore, and then give it to the person. Now, when it comes to the social media trends as well, if a partner wants to say by force by fire, we must do it. Sometimes you would have your way by not doing it. Some other times, if it's something that you can compromise on, please compromise on it. Don't stand gidigba and say, I'm not doing anything, this and that. No, no, don't do that. Give in to a bit. That's, again, compromise. If everybody is doing what they want to do without thinking of the other person, then that's just selfishness. Why then are you in a relationship with the person if you cannot, pull back here and there, satisfy the other person? Then why are you in a relationship? It's all about sacrifice. It's all about being considerate. And even the one asking for something, if you know that you like to jump on every social media trend and whatever, appreciate when your spouse does give in to your wants. And understand as well when your partner says, no, I'm not going to do this, or no, I'm not interested in doing this. And let me just quickly revert to the Valentine's Day we're talking about. If this year your partner, you don't like to go out, and because of your partner, you said, oh, we're going to go out, the following year, if you don't go out, your partner as well should understand. It's give and take. There's nothing that is set in stone. Everybody should be ready to move. If I don't like to go out, for example, I'm not someone that likes to go out, for example, and I know that my partner likes to go out. If I know that being like a special day, he wants to post something online, of how he had a wonderful Valentine's Day, I don't see anything. For me, I don't see anything wrong in that. Going out. It's February 14. It's a day. Why can't I go out? Same as, and then other days, maybe other days during that year, if he asks and I say, babe, I'm sorry, I don't feel up to it. I don't feel like going out. He should be able to understand why I have said so. when it also comes to the jumping on the social media challenges, trust me, out of all the challenges, you will see a couple that you can do with him, just to show that you do care. You are not just very wicked and just say no, it's my way or the highway or whatever. And then the days that you don't do some social media trends, I mean, he or she should be able to understand. And if they don't understand, hey, maybe you need to again reevaluate your relationship with the person, or if your best interest, is in the heart of the person. That's what I think.
Sarah, let me quickly jump on Cynthia's comment. So, Cynthia, you said something about compromising, when you feel comfortable about the stuff that your partner wants you to compromise on, or that your partner wants you to do, even if you would rather not do that. And I do agree, because I really also believe that in any relationship, compromise, is important. If any relationship would work, there has to be a lot of compromises involved. So I agree with you on that. But then my question now is, what if, the partner always wants you to compromise on something you're not comfortable with? So that's the key word there, something you are not comfortable with. Now, as regards Valentine's celebration, I did say that both parties would learn to meet, each other halfway. So even if you don't enjoy celebrating Valentine's, or you don't believe in celebrating it because your partner wants, to celebrate it, you should meet them halfway, and compromises here and there on certain issues. But then, as regards social media trend, honestly, I just want to ask, apart from self-gratification, what other advantage does social media challenge or social media trend bring? So I mean, apart from the fact that, okay, you jump on a challenge, you shout, hey, who he, you post stuff that maybe will attract likes and comments and stuff like that. What kind of benefit do these challenges offer? Because I have taken a look at most of the challenges that I know on social media, and I don't see any, value that they had, apart from the fact that, you just enjoy yourself and, you just have fun. So now, if your partner is not comfortable, being on social media, then are you saying that partner should, compromise on certain things simply because, they need to compromise in a relationship? Now, I am also thinking that when you meet someone, before you marry them, or before you at least get into a relationship with them, or while you're in a relationship with them, you know certain things about them, you know what they stand for. So if, for instance, the lady is with a guy who does not enjoy being on social media, who does not want his pictures on social media, who does not want, any of that stuff on, or any of that stuff, with social media, wahala and all that. Now, this, you accept this person for who they are before you agree to be in a relationship with them or to marry them. And now you marry them and you want them to change all of a sudden and start compromising on something that they are not comfortable about. So my main issue here is, if it does not, give any kind of added advantage, or it doesn't add value, why should I compromise? Why should I make myself uncomfortable? For what reason? Because I think that that's something that happens in lots of relationships. You know this person, you know who they are already, you accept them, now you're married to them, and all of a sudden you just want them to, start doing stuff that you're not comfortable with. I actually really think that kind of expectation is far-fetched. If you think that someone should, start compromising for you or making themselves uncomfortable, simply because you want to do something that does not even have any kind of benefits in the first place. So I probably would, kind of like answer that question for me, because I feel if you want to go on social media, you want to jump on challenges and everything, why not? Go ahead. As long as it doesn't reflect negatively on me, you can do your thing, but don't drag me into it if I am not, comfortable, doing it, especially if you know that already about me. So why do you need me to compromise and do something against my will or make myself uncomfortable? Please, probably you just shed more light on that for me. Thanks.
No, please. I said that when you are compromising, that if you're compromising on something at this moment, the other partner should also understand that if you don't do it the next time, there's nothing wrong. And I was saying that if that person doesn't get that, then you need to reevaluate your relationship with the person. So like I used the example of the Valentine one. I said, if for example you go out maybe this year, you go for Valentine, I mean like you do an outing this year, and it's not something that you like, but you did before as a compromise, and because your partner likes that. The next year, if you don't do it, then your partner should you should not be angry. If he's angry about that, and I mean, he or she, I don't want to, put gender on it now. If the person is angry about that, then there's a problem. Like I said, if you go out of your way to satisfy your partner too has to understand when he doesn't have his way, he or she, sorry, when like your partner doesn't have his or her way the next time, he has to understand that this person has done this and that. And also with social media, you don't have to do, even when you want to compromise, if it's something you're not comfortable doing, please don't do it. Do not do it. It's not because the person now likes it, you now say that you are going to be, I mean, you want to do it because, I mean, because the person likes it or something, you are going to now compromise, even though you don't feel comfortable at all doing it. Absolutely not. You should not do it. You just don't feel comfortable doing it. You don't feel comfortable doing it. There's no to worry about it. I mean, an example is the silhouette challenge. If you have a partner that wants to do silhouette and says that you should come and do it, him or her, and you don't feel comfortable doing it, don't say because you want to compromise, you now go and do something that you don't. It's not that is even totally out of character for you. That's not even something you enjoy doing. That's not what you want. That's not what you want to associate yourself with, and don't do it. It's not compulsory. I was only referring to subtle things that that are not threatening, that that okay for you to do. That's what I mean by you should compromise, not on things that you don't even want to do at all, at all, at all, at all. No, don't do it. It's as simple as that.
Okay, so thank you very much for your answers. Very insightful, and Doc, like gist too. Thank you anyway. So how about a case, for example, where let's say Chris and Bola went out on a date, and they had a really good time, and in Chris's opinion, it's a great date. And next thing he sees him is their story. Maybe there was something that happened during the conversation, during their date, and next thing sees that Bola has come online and is has written about it. So it's not a trend per se, but she picks part of their conversation and turns it to a trending topic. And there's a lot of maybe people bashing Chris, or some people agreeing with Chris. And Chris and Bola are actually dating. Say Bola picks part of the conversation they had during their last date and she takes it online. What are your thoughts on that? Or let's reverse it. Let's say it's Chris that takes part of the conversation that Bola had with him in her opinion. She felt they were just gisting. And next thing she sees that it's a trending topic on Twitter because Chris carried the matter there. What are your thoughts on stuff like that? Is it something that people should just overlook and say, oh, that's the way Chris behaves? Or is it a matter that needs to be trashed out? So this is more or less like my last question before we say our goodbyes.
This is between the two of them. They went on a date, and then one party picked a part of their conversations and put it online to sort of get some discussion going around it, and the other party is not happy about it, call your partner and discuss with them. Tell them, okay, you did this. I'm not very happy that you did this. And they, if in fact, it depends on the way the person is looking at it. Why is he not happy? Is it that he doesn't want the partner to take their discussion to engage on social media? That's different to the fact that he's not happy that people are bashing him, or maybe are not saying, they're not saying eye to eye with him or so stuff. There are two different issues. If he doesn't like the idea of taking it at all, I feel like if it's the first time, you discuss with the person and say, look, okay, you did this. I don't like it. I'd like that our discussions remain private, our dealings remain private. You don't share with the world. If the other partner is okay with it, then fine. If she's not okay with it, then maybe you should reevaluate and know if you can be with each other. And if it's something that she's willing to compromise on, then fine for you. If the person is not happy because of the kinds of response that the post or the conversation is getting, if they are both civil about it, it could open door for both of them to again sit down, maybe evaluate the responses they are getting, and then discuss it. So, for the person getting angry, I don't have a problem with the person getting angry. I only have a problem if the person gets angry and then keeps quiet and is now counting score. Maybe you won't see anything the first time. He or she does it the second time. You won't see anything. The third time, the fourth time, you now boss. And that's how you be taking all that discussion on social media. I don't think that's that doesn't make any sense. You guys are not kids. You guys are adults. If somebody does something that you don't like, you have your mouth. You can open your mouth and discuss with the person. I don't like this. If the person says, "Oh, I'm sorry, I cannot not post or bring a discussion out of what happens in my life," then you evaluate whether you should be with that kind of person or not. So for me, that one is never long talk at all. Like Kosoron, nothing. You discuss with the person. If the person shares your view, good luck to you. I mean, congratulations. If the person does not share your view, check it. If you can absolutely not stand somebody, putting you on blast like that, then maybe you want to take a step.
Yes, so I love gist. Of course, definitely, I do love the gist. All right, Chris Bola. How do we solve Chris and Bola's issue now? Well, the first thing I'd like to know is the content of their conversation, especially the content that was lifted and taken to social media. Because honestly, if you have a conversation with a friend, okay, or whomever, and it's nothing private, it's nothing personal, it's just general talk or general gist, I don't see anything wrong if you feel like, okay, probably want to sample people's opinions about some of the things that you discussed, or you want to draw certain inferences, okay, and maybe share life lessons or what have you with people. I don't think it's such a big deal. But if it's a private conversation, if it's something that it's personal, and you probably feel like, oh, this true life experience, I want to sample people's opinions about it, or I want to share certain life, lessons from it and everything. I think the best thing to do is to ask the person, if you can, do that. You need to obtain permission from, the person. And if the person gives you permission to share their personal story, I also think that you need to protect the person's identity. Even when you put that, out there, you should write, whatever you want to write in a way that someone who knows the person or who knows you can't easily put two and two together and then, guess who you're talking about, or know who you're talking about, I think it's important to protect the person's identity, unless the person actually tells you that, well, they don't care if you mention them or what have you. But generally, I just think you can even post it as some sort of hypothetical situation, but you need to obtain permission from that person so they don't, suddenly start saying their story online and they're like, oh, but I told this person in confidence. However, if your motive, because your motive is also of of paramount importance here, what exactly do you stand to gain, by sharing such story? So if it's to, share life lessons, if it's to uplift someone, or, well, if you are even still sampling opinions so that you have a better idea or better view, of that situation, that's understandable. And again, like I said, you still need to take permission. But in a case where you didn't even tell the person that you were going to post, their stories online, and then, the way it's worded, or, whatever, it still comes, back to the person, in a very negative way, such that people will now, bash the person, slam the person, or ridicule the person. I mean, nobody should tell you that that's nasty behavior, to take something like that and put, on social media. I mean, if you're going to do anything, like I keep saying, anything that you would do that will intentionally, hurt someone else, you shouldn't do that, because if it's done to you, you won't like it. So what you don't like someone to do to you, don't do to another person. If you know that if I put a story out there, this person is going to be ridiculed or anything, that, in fact, what is your motive? Why would you go and put it out there? That's the first thing we even want to find out, because your motive must be very, very devilish. How did they say that word? Devilish. Exactly. So I mean, that's horrible behavior, and it's not something that you should just sweep under the carpet and say that's how this person behaves. Evil behavior winning it. No, well, if somebody does that to me, I'll cancel that person. Like, you're cancelled forever. I mean, that's nasty behavior. No. Uh-uh. I don't agree. It's not good enough.
Thanks, Dr. Ayotunde. Well, said I should call her Ayotunde. Thanks, Ayotunde. Thanks, Cynthia. I guess my outstanding question, I'm going to send it to the audience. Audience, feel free to drop your comments on Instagram at GistArenaA. GistArenaA on Instagram. Please remember to follow us. And so my question is, what if the social media trend that we're talking about, or let's say in this case, Valentine's Day too, is something that is against the faith of the partner that is against it, as in, so it's not just a case of, oh, okay, let me compromise. It's something that is against your core values. How do you manage such a situation? So in conclusion, these are the points I picked from the conversation that we've had, that everyone is their own person. If you want your partner to not do something or to do something, come with a plea and not a threat. So understand that you're dealing with an individual, an adult. So you don't come and say, oh, if you don't do this, that will happen, like you are the Lord and Master. Then number two, compromise on things that make sense. From what I could hear Dr. Ayotunde say, many of these social media trends, they are not do or die affairs. They are not things that if you don't do them, the heavens will fall. I was speaking with a friend yesterday, and she said something that this NSAS period, that she really wanted to go out and take a picture and be able to say, oh, I was there when XYZ happened, but that she had a strong leading in her spirit that no, that's not what I want you to do. That God told her, that's not what I want you to do for this season. I want you to spend more time praying. So just to align with what Dr. Ayotunde is saying, many of the social media trends, they're just feel good things. They do not add value in real life. So there shouldn't be things that should be causing that much wahala. Also, let the compromises not be one-sided, because if only one person continues to make the sacrifice, it's I don't know if you've ever seen that picture of the sharpener and no, I think yeah, it's the pencil and I guess the sharpener or something. So the pencil keeps getting smaller every time the sharpener works, but the sharpener is feeling like, oh, I'm working. So your relationship should be one where everyone is growing, and it shouldn't be one where only one partner is making all the rules and the other one always has to compromise. And the other point I picked was that if you're uncomfortable doing stuff, don't do it. Be firm enough to say, no, I don't want to do this one, or I want to do this one. So, like Cynthia said, if you decide that, okay, this year, I'm not a Valentine's person, but this year, because I love this person, I'm going to go all out and celebrate. And then next year, let the person know that it doesn't mean that next year I'm going to do the same thing. The other point I picked was learn the love language of your partner. Let your partner's love language learn to speak your partner's love language. So if your partner loves being online, public display of affection, and you're the kind of person that is more introverted, people like me, y'all are going to have to find a balance, because it shouldn't be that all the time y'all are being introverted, or that all the time you're showing public display of affection. You have to find a middle ground where both of you express love. Another point is that you can jump on trends, but if you go cause wahala, why not calm down? That's what we're saying. I've said that before. And then I also wrote down that date someone on the same wavelength as you. You will have less what do I do posts or hide my ID posts. Happy Valentine's Day to those of you that will be celebrating. Feel free to gist us about what you did, if you know go cause wahala, or kasala. We know you have some views that may not particularly agree with ours. We are actually open to your opinions, your thoughts, your comments. So remember to follow at @GistArenaA on Instagram and drop us comments. Come into our DM. We always want to hear from you. We're always happy to hear from you. Thank you very much for listening to us this week. And thanks to Dr. Yetunde and Cynthia for not making me speak alone. We look forward to having you listen to us in our next episode. Gist Arena, we gist.
Thank you so much for joining us on today's episode of Gist Arena. We hope you enjoyed the topic discussed. Please drop your comments and let us know what you think about it. We'll definitely love to hear from you. Until next time, bye!